Have you ever experienced a moment so strange, so familiar, that it made you stop in your tracks? Maybe you walked into a room full of people you've never met, but suddenly everything felt known. Or maybe you're in the middle of a conversation, and a sentence you just heard feels like something you've heard somewhere before, even though you're sure you haven't. That eerie split-second sensation where the present feels like the past. That's déjà vu. A moment that feels like a glitch in reality. A memory that doesn't exist. A scene your mind claims it has lived, even though your life story says otherwise. Today, we're diving deep into what déjà vu really is, how it happens, why it happens, who experiences it the most, and what the latest science says about this mind-bending phenomenon. Because behind that strange feeling is a lot more than just a brain glitch. Some theories go into memory science, some into psychology, and some are so weird they might surprise you. Let's start with the basics. Most people think déjà vu is supernatural, like a sign of intuition, a psychic moment, or a glimpse of a past life. While those theories fascinate millions of people, scientists actually have a few grounded explanations that are just as mind-blowing. One of the most common explanations is the dual processing theory. Normally, your brain takes in new information, sends it to short-term memory, and then, if it matters, it transfers it into long-term memory. But sometimes, this process misfires. The signal meant for short-term memory accidentally overlaps with the part of your brain that handles long-term memories. So your brain gets confused. It tags a brand new moment as something that already happened. It's as if your memory system hits a button labeled "seen before" by mistake. This misfire creates that intense moment of familiarity. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Another theory says déjà vu happens when the brain runs a quick memory safety check. Think about it like your computer doing a system test. When your brain processes a moment, it compares it to years and years of memories, patterns, and experiences. If the details, the lighting, the smell, the layout, the angle of your vision, match something from your past even slightly, your brain sends a signal that feels like a memory, even if you don't consciously remember the original moment. This is why déjà vu often happens in places that share small details with other places you've been. A hallway that has the same tiles as your old school. A cafe with a layout similar to a place you once visited on vacation. A stranger's expression that matches someone from your childhood. Your brain recognizes tiny details faster than you realize. But here's a twist. Your conscious mind doesn't know what the pattern is. It just feels familiar. So it creates that strange dreamlike sensation, déjà vu. Another fascinating explanation comes from the world of attention and distraction. Imagine you're walking into a store. Your eyes take in a scene, but your attention is on something else. Maybe your phone, maybe your thoughts. Your brain captures the scene for a split second, but because you didn't focus on it, it doesn't fully register. A few seconds later, you look up again. Now you're repaying attention, and the scene feels like it happened before. Because technically it did, just not with full awareness. This creates a weird illusion, a replay of a moment you barely noticed the first time. What's even more interesting is who experiences déjà vu the most. Research shows it's incredibly common in young adults, especially between ages 15 and 30. People who are creative, imaginative, emotionally aware, or who daydream often experience it more frequently. It's not a sign of anything being wrong. If anything, it suggests an active, highly responsive memory system. People who travel a lot or watch a lot of movies also get déjà vu more. Why? Because the brain is constantly working with new environments, new faces, and new scenes. With more variety, there's more opportunity for overlap, mistaken memory tags, and pattern recognition errors. Now let's dig into something even stranger, the hologram theory of memory. It suggests that every memory you store is like a hologram. Even a tiny piece of it can recreate the entire image. So if your brain encounters one small piece of sensory information that overlaps with a stored memory, it tries to rebuild that whole memory. But if that memory doesn't fully exist, you get déjà vu, the brain's attempt to reconstruct something from a fragment it can't actually place. Then there's the split-second delay theory. This one is simple but powerful. Sometimes one part of your brain registers a moment faster than another. So when the second part catches up, it feels like the moment already happened, because technically it did just a fraction of a second earlier. It's like your mind accidentally watches the same moment twice. This delay can be so tiny you would never consciously notice it, but your brain recognizes it, and that tiny mismatch creates the sensation of familiarity. But we're not done yet. There's also the emotional side of déjà vu. Many people report déjà vu during times of stress, change, or emotional overwhelm. Not because something is wrong, but because the brain becomes more sensitive to memory cues. During these moments, the brain tries to make sense of your environment even faster, increasing the chances of memory misfires or pattern confusion. And then there's the dream theory, not proven, but very intriguing. According to this idea, déjà vu happens when you experience something in real life that matches a moment from a dream you forgot. The brain recognizes the pattern even if the conscious mind doesn't, creating that sudden jolt of familiarity. This theory is especially common among people who dream vividly or remember their dreams in detail. So, is déjà vu dangerous? No. In most cases, déjà vu is completely normal and even healthy. It shows your memory system is active, responsive, and constantly trying to make sense of your world. But here's the biggest secret about déjà vu. Science still hasn't fully solved it. It remains one of the most mysterious functions of the human mind. We understand parts of it, the memory confusion, the pattern recognition, the brain delays, but the full explanation is still a puzzle. Maybe that's why déjà vu feels so powerful. It blurs the line between memory and reality. It makes you question your surroundings for a moment. It makes the familiar feel magical, and the present feel like a forgotten past. So the next time déjà vu hits, don't freak out, don't overthink it. Just pause for a second and appreciate the moment. Because what you re-experiencing isn't a glitch, it is your brain showing off. It's your mind revealing just how complex, creative, and mysterious it truly is. For a few seconds, you're living a moment that feels like a memory, even though it never happened. And that is the strange, beautiful truth behind déjà vu.